Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic Friday, wherever you are around the world. I have to think then what day we were on, but how are we? Hopefully, everyone is doing well and all good. And welcome back to yet another Liverpool news episode for you guys this evening, or this afternoon, wherever you are, and like I said, around the world. And we do have some news, of course, about the potential next Liverpool manager. Of course, you guys will have seen the news if you have already. Of course, with Arne Slot, of course with Feyenoord, and as you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, Liverpool and Feyenoord are close to agreeing a deal with compensation. Of course, we'll take a look at all the news around that. So get your guys' thoughts in the comment section as well, and yeah, just overall get everyone's thoughts and opinions on Arne Slot. But obviously looking like the move to Liverpool will get done as well sooner rather than later. But Talio Gary, seeing Talio Bean as well. Hope you're doing well, Gary. As well, obviously, if you're new around here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and all that good stuff. Of course, we'll be live again later for it. Of course, we're going to be live 9 o'clock for the West Ham preview. That should be fun, if not. But one is very concerned about next season. It's it's an unprecedented time. None of us know what is going to happen next year. Look, it could go really, really good, and we could be speaking about Liverpool, but massively performing next season, or again, it could be a year of just learning under a new manager, because again, it could go one or two ways. We could either go tremendously up, or we could just have a year of rebuilding in that sense. Hello, Ryan, hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a good week, Connor, mate. Just thought I'd join in and just say 2-0. If anyone doesn't know, Ryan's a Everton fan. Shock. Absolute asshole. I'm kidding. Let's hope he slots right in. Nice one, Chris. As well, good to see you in here as well. Hello, Tom as well. Hopefully you're doing well. As a yes, Condog as well. But if anyone hasn't seen the news, then we'll jump straight into it. Of course, with Arne Slot, Fabrizio Romano saying, understand Liverpool and Feyenoord are now close to agree on compensation fee for Arne Slot as talks are progressing well. Also today, there are some details to clarify, and then the final green light is expected to arrive soon. Melissa Reddy as well also put her post and put her statement out on Twitter saying Liverpool and Feyenoord heading closer to an agreement for Arne Slot to become Jurgen Klopp's successor. Suggestions Ruben Amorim was overlooked because of financial reasons is fiction. He made the shortlist, but Slot was viewed as the better football fit with his playing approach, and Liverpool's obviously mirroring well together. And Sam Mokbel, I think it is as well. Again, apologies if I've butchered people's names. Of course, same Feyenoord ready to conclude deal with for Arne Slot to Liverpool. Talks continue today with clubs moving towards an agreeing compensation package for Slot and other Feyenoord staff members, all in the figure, likely the top estimate of £13 million. Obviously, story with Lewis Steele as well. Now, of course, that's the big one. It looks to be around £13 million for a total package. Of course, for Feyenoord, that would be an unbelievable amount of money. I think the top sale, I think, out of Feyenoord, I think was around 8.5 million euros. So even taking that into consideration, that it would be the biggest sum for Feyenoord. And of course, obviously, it does look like the Arne Slot will be bringing in quite a lot of people from Feyenoord to Liverpool, and bringing, like I said, his own philosophy to the football club. Obviously, Ruben Amorim's name was mentioned in that. Of course, there's been even more from the likes of Melissa Reddy. Obviously, Ruben Amorim was on the shortlist for Liverpool. Of course, many people did suggest that potentially, because there was around a 15 million release clause for Ruben Amorim, that was a problem for Liverpool. It doesn't seem to be the case. It did seem to be the case of his playing philosophy, under Arne Slot, it does look like Liverpool will be playing more or less a 4-2-3-1, a 4-3-3, while at Ruben Amorim, of course, Liverpool would be changing to a 3-4-3 as well. I think also in Melissa Reddy's article piece, the club's thought process for the future and Ruben Amorim's didn't match. So, and just judging from, again, just the pieces that we've seen as of today, it looks like the Arne Slot was the number 2 guy after Xabi Alonso. It does look like, of course, Xabi Alonso was the number 1 guy, and Arne Slot was straight away the number 2 guy for Liverpool. But look, I'm very much excited for what we'll see. Of course, for what's happened for the back end of the Premier League season and what's happened this season in particular, and of course Jurgen Klopp going, it isn't nice. But the future, I think, for Liverpool, look, it's exciting and also worrying at the same time. Look, it's very unpredicted what's going to happen in the next 12 months. We could be sat here, Liverpool out of European places altogether. Things are not going quite right, and it's not really going that good. Or the signs for a quality time under Arne Slot could be there. Again, next season will be difficult. I don't think anyone could be sat here and going Liverpool to win the league next season. We would love that, of course we would, but there are certain people that will straight away get on that train. If things go a bit south, people are like, right, time to get rid of him, this, that, and the other. You have to give a manager time, and you have to let him have his own philosophy. It'd be very interesting to see who Arne Slot actually brings into the football club along with the data team. Of course, we know that that's more or less just going to be data driven now, with the likes of Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards, of course, coming in, and Arne Slot will just focus primarily on the football side of things, and that is probably for the best. And also, it'll be interesting to see what we change from this season, what's the differences we'll see even in the likes of pre-season to how we play and how Liverpool set up, because that's exciting. For me, we've had a decade of Jurgen Klopp, and we've had the best times of our lives, certainly in my lifetime, we've had under Jurgen Klopp. And can Arne Slot take us to that next level or keep us on that same level? Nobody knows, but judging from what people have said to him, about Feyenoord and other places as well, it looks like he's ready for that next step up. And judging from, again, obviously last season, he was meant to be going to Spurs, rejected Spurs. I think he signed a new deal as well last season. So obviously Spurs fans would have known plenty about him as well, but it does look like that he is ready for that next move. Of course, him speaking yesterday about the Liverpool move was a bit of a, like, ooh, hello type situation. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. But again, it does look like it will be happening very, very soon, that he will be the next Liverpool manager as well. But whoa, I'm called for that. I love it. I love it, really, right? But, freaking blue shite. I'm kidding. But Klopp needs a rest. Looks like he needs. It's sad he's leaving, but I'm excited for the new manager. Yeah, of course. And that's the thing. I don't want Jurgen Klopp to leave, but just listening to him lately, he's done. And the boys are, the boys have to fight back on the weekend, because again, we need Champions League football, and that's not done yet. Again, the main aim, I think, for the start of the season, of course, our season expectations has changed, midway through the season. I think at one stage, certainly at the beginning, I think if somebody had said, the position Liverpool are in now compared to, a couple of weeks back, again, we would have been thrilled. I think that right at the start of the season, if you'd said Liverpool were third, a few points off City and Arsenal, I think anyone would have bit your hand off that. But to see what's happened over the last month at the football club, and to see, the Palace defeat, the Everton defeat, the draw at Man United, to see those performances, and to reflect off of them. I think all of us have been disappointed in that fact. But again, we have to get Champions League. Of course, winning a Carabao Cup and getting Champions League wasn't the aim in the middle of the season. It wasn't. But at the start of the season, it very much was. And for what Klopp has done, it's been brilliant in that sense. And look, I don't think Jurgen Klopp will manage again in club football. I really don't believe that. I really do believe that, I should say. I think Jurgen Klopp, if he is going to take a managerial job, it will be with Germany, and that is it. I don't think he'll take another club over. I could be wrong. He could take a year out or 2 years out, come back refreshed and looking to continue in football. But I think Jurgen Klopp is done for a while. And, he deserves a break because, Jesus Christ, he's been fighting, for everything in that sense as well. But yeah, 100%. But there, Chris, commented the Amrim deal fall through. No, Amrim wasn't the guy by the looks of things. It looks like Liverpool did have him in the list. He fit a lot of criterias, but it does seem that Arne Slot was the number one guy. Of course, I say that Alonso was the number one guy by the looks of things, and then Arne Slot. Once we knew Xabi Alonso wasn't going to be in the picture, it looks like Arne Slot was in the frame from the higher ups. And look, this is the thing I said on a video a couple of weeks ago. We all wanted Michael Edwards back, and the thing for me personally, you have to trust Michael Edwards. People give him massive, and I've seen people on social media, kind of have a go at Michael Edwards, obviously with Slot coming in, like, oh, who is he, this, that, and the other. We wanted Amrim. We've all said that Michael Edwards was the best sporting director the club's seen in terms of the deals he brought in and the deals out of the football club. Allow Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes the time, because they could make a team, they could make a team that will go on to win the league and could win a couple of leagues. You never know. It may not work, and that's football at the end of the day. But the Liverpool are in the best, we're in the good hands of Michael Edwards. Trust them, trust them, because we wanted him back. We wanted this. We wanted data-driven, and data-driven delivered as a Premier League, delivers as a Champions League. Of course, Jurgen Klopp did that as well. It was a mixture between the two. But you hope, again, when people go, oh, Slot is a Ten Hag 2.0, it doesn't seem that case. It seems that he has his own philosophy. He, his football that he plays is attacking. It's good on the eye. People understand it. And tactically as well, it looks like he can adapt to situations. Well, that's what Liverpool probably want as well. And look, it does look like that Amrim didn't, Liverpool wanted the four at the back, or potentially, a bit of adaptability in that sense. It looks like that Amrim wasn't going to do that in that sense neither. But big up to Panav as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. Amrim wanted to be in charge of transfers. That was another rumour. I can't say that was true or not, to be fair. But yeah, it looks like that even though Amrim did tick a few boxes, just not the guy for Liverpool. And of course, as well, trying to trap Michael Edwards in that sense of, oh, I'm going to West Ham, Liverpool will come in for me then. Nope. Like Michael, and that's the thing. If you try and outsmart Liverpool, Liverpool outsmart you back. Michael Edwards plays 4D chess weekly. Like it's unbelievable how good he is at certain situations in the market and so on. And that's something that, again, I don't think anyone has an advantage of Michael Edwards in that sense. But all right, Tom, you're still celebrating, mate, as well. Oh, bloody hell, yes, they are. Afternoon, everyone. Not gonna lie, I'm warming to this appointment quite a bit. Yeah, exactly. It's an exciting time. It's an exciting squad. Look, what's happened of late hasn't been great, but Liverpool have an amazing squad to work with. And look, I think Liverpool will sign 5 players in the summer, might be even more. But Liverpool have a good foundation to work off as well. But what happens with Núñez when Slot comes in, plays number 9, simple as. Gary, I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of pessimists around him as a coach, but let's give him the man a chance for now. It's enough that he really wants to come to Liverpool. Yeah, exactly. And that's something that should be praised. You know, the fact that he's coming in and welcoming the challenge of being the next Liverpool manager, like it's not an easy, task. And the fact he's walked in and gone, yeah, look, I want the job. I want to be the next Liverpool manager, and I think I can do it. And I praise anyone for that. If somebody rejected Liverpool in that sense into, not, the fact that they couldn't do it, don't want him at the football club. I think everyone should have that mindset as well, personally. But Rice says he looks a good match. Think him being number one over Ange for last summer sums up the type of manager he is in terms of potential. An up-and-coming top-level manager linked to many top clubs, yes. I think it was it Liverpool, Barca, I think Bayern also looked at him as well. But of course, as Ryan said, I just hope he turns out like a B-Tech Ten Hag. You wish, you hope that as well. Enjoy Sean Dyche for next season anyway. Good evening, Connor. Good evening, Doug. Hope you're doing well, mate. It's a bloody gamble. Yeah, of course it is. But who else is there on the market? Like, managerial market at the minute is horrendous. Like, horrendous in terms of look at Barcelona. They have prayed and begged Xavi to stay, and of course he's staying now, but Barcelona can't afford an Amorim, for example. They can't afford a De Zerbi, but I think Amorim has kind of shot himself in the foot as well, because he was so determined to leave Sporting. In that sense, of course they'll go on to win the league in Portugal, but does he leave Sporting? Does he take time off and potentially find a way into the Premier League? Of course, West Ham could go and get him, but by the looks of things, West Ham don't want Amorim, because West Ham got played in that sense of Amorim only used West Ham to try and advance a move to Liverpool, and that's not going to work well for anyone in that sense as well. But I can't wait for Arne to slot in. Thank you, Doug. That's twice now that joke's come up. Thank you, chat. Pan saying, I don't trust anyone, Connor, but we have to give all these guys time to work their magic. Time will tell. Yeah, 100%. And I think, look, I know you said you can't trust anyone, but again, for me personally, trust Michael Edwards. We all said data was the way forward, and look, using that for me personally, it will work wonders for the club anyway. But Hannah saying Ten Hag is a total different personality - method to slot. Eric Ten Hag can start a fight in an empty room. Fight himself in that sense anyway. But Doug saying hi to Hannah as well. Let me quickly scroll down. Adventures in, big up, saying I'm at work, what's happening? Hello all as well. I'll quickly get this thing back up. So Fabrizio Romano tweeting out this, saying understand Liverpool and Feyenoord are now close to agree on compensation fee for Arne Slot, as talks are progressing well. Also today there are some details to clarify, and then the final green light is expected to arrive. And Melissa Reddy as well also adding to this, saying that Liverpool and Feyenoord heading closer to an agreement for Arne Slot to become Jurgen Klopp's successor. Suggestions Ruben Amorim was overlooked because of financial reasons is fiction, according to Melissa Reddy. She does also say, but of course he was on the shortlist, but Slot was viewed as the better football fit for his playing approach. So again, it looks like it's going to get done probably before the weekend, maybe even tomorrow. I say before the weekend, it's bloody Friday, but probably tomorrow we may find out some news that it is 100% done, or they may wait now until the weekend's over, because of course we got a very crucial game against West Ham. I think obviously I think Feyenoord played last night, didn't they? They played 3-1. as they played 3-1. They won 3-1. Sorry, chat, as well. But yeah, of course, should be done by the weekend anyway, or over the weekend. The first 5 games are crucial, Connor. I think, look, results I don't think are too concerning. I think it's performances. You know, we need to have a look how he does perform. You will start to see in the preseason, because it's stupid this preseason, because again, and it's going to be difficult to start because you've got the Euros. I think the Copa America is also around the same time as the Euros as well. So, you know, you're going to have a few players coming back a bit late to training as well. So it's going to be a difficult start to preseason. But hopefully, you know, I think there will be a few games at Anfield as well for preseason to try and get him, you know, used to that, to be fair. But yeah, of course, I think Liverpool we go to Asia and we go to America in preseason. We definitely go to America. Don't know about Asia again, but we'll have to wait for that. Klopp was a gamble to begin with, and look how that turned out. Yeah, 100%. But there, Doug, loads of clubs are looking for new managers too. Yeah, 100%. Like, it's top clubs. You know, you look at it. We're looking for a new one. Of course, we've kind of got our man now. Bayern Munich, I've got their guy. Supposedly in Ralph Redneck or Raniak. Again, I can't never pronounce his name properly. But yeah, there's definitely loads of clubs. Juventus as well. Supposedly. You know, are supposedly meant to be looking at Thiago Motta as well, which, if that's true, you know, it'd be a good appointment, to be fair. But yeah, it's top clubs. You know, managerial market is huge. Next season it'll be huge. This is why I think Bayern Munich are only getting, only getting Ralph because they want Alonso, and I don't think Alonso, like Bayern Munich and the Bayern report as well, was so confident that Alonso was joining. I think that they very much will focus in on Alonso next season. They'll try and put little seeds into the season, like, oh, we've got this agreement with Alonso, we're talking with Alonso, this, that, and the other. When in fact they're nowhere near the situation, and I think he's going to go to Real Madrid. I think we all think that. But he will take over from Carlo Ancelotti at the end of next season, and he will manage Real Madrid for sure. But congrats to Cody Gakpo on the birth of his son Samuel. Yeah, 100%. Obviously, Jurgen did confirm that. Obviously, baby's fine, mother's fine. Great news for Cody Gakpo. I hope you're well, Hannah, as well. Cam's saying Liverpool meet agreement yet for Liverpool's new manager. Of course, it is close, but of course not done as of yet. Anyway, but let me quickly check if there is any more news before I do shoot off, because we are live again tonight as well, guys. We're live at 9 for West Ham preview. Of course, tomorrow, unfortunately, Liverpool playing at 12:30, which again I think all of us hate, don't we? In that sense. But Arne Slot writes in, thank you very much. That's the third time now that someone's made that joke. Like, can we get some originality, people, please? If we get the joke. Anyway, but big up Jordan as well. Avenger saying we need to get hungry players in again. Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing in the summer. Like, before we do shoot off, chat, let me know how many people you think Liverpool will sign in the summer, because I said for me, I think Liverpool sign 5 players. I think we get, and of course it depends on who leaves. Again, we're going to do a separate video on this, probably coming up in a couple of weeks, probably. But you'd probably think I do think Mo Salah's going to leave, personally. Sadly, I do think Mo's going to leave. I think Liverpool are going to need a new backup goalkeeper. I think Keller might leave. So when you look at it as a whole, we need, right-sided midfielder or right winger in that sense. I think we need a new left back. I think we need a new centre half. A DM, I think, as well. For Maka. again, having a new DM, Stefan Bajcetic, Endo, and then if you do need Alexis McAllister in a DM position, you can play him there. But for me, Liverpool do need another DM in the summer, because again, people go, "Oh, we've got Stefan Bajcetic coming back." That is very true, and while I do think his progression we'll see the best out of him, I think next season, I think having just one more DM in the football club will do everyone really, really good, because then you've got that is if Wataru Endo does stay, but then you've got a new DM in, you've got Bajcetic that will grow more into the space, you've got Endo who's there as well. So I do think Liverpool do need a DM, and then wingers, a left back and a centre half and a goalkeeper. I think we do need, but again, it will depend on who does leave as well. But I would agree with that adventure as well. But slot machine as well from Doug. Gonna have to change my name from the Red Machine to Slot Machine. Do you know what? That you should do that. You should absolutely do that. Won't be slot shaming, for God's sake, Hannah. 4 out of 5 for people coming in. Yeah, I think 5 for me. Yeah, that's a good one, Hannah, to be fair. But when Arne Slot announced to Liverpool, I think it should be done. Of course, it won't be officially announced till the end of the season, but I think by Monday it should be done, because Vinyl will want it done, we'll want it done, and yeah, I think everyone will just want clarity to what is happening for the season anyway. But Venture saying the Red Machine doesn't that just leave us in the same position as well? What's he said? We need upgrades, yes, but the squad depth is poor overall. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's a huge question mark as well whether or not Trent stays at right back as well, even though I do think he will, because again, Arne Slot will be doing a tactics video on him. He does like to invert his fullbacks, or does certainly invert the right back, I should say. Could Trent potentially play in a midfield position under a new manager? Who knows? But I think that it's for the way he plays and the style that Arne Slot does play, what we currently got, it's good for, but it could also do with some backup in that sense in terms of the quality levels. And I think we've always said that at the start of the season, the bench looked brilliant, but it's just the injuries, isn't it? The injury impact on the team is, it's not great, is it? But inverting in a 4-2-3-1, what's that? What's that? 3 DMs? Not really, but it's so he plays with a 2-3, doesn't he? So you'll have the 2 centre backs, you'll have the two already centre mids, and then the right back then invert into the thing where you could then. It's similar to what it could be now. So, like, say if Maka is playing as one of the midfields, he goes up a bit further. You have Endo and Trent inverted, and then similar to what we already have now. So that could be changed though as well. But again, the adaptability with the fullbacks with Arne Slot is very much where we've seen it before, where Liverpool's fullbacks used to be wing backs, where they'd be bombing up and down the pitch. And now not so much in that sense. But Ken, that'll be a different video that we talked about anyway. But I'm going to leave it there for today, guys. Anyway, of course, we'll be back at 9 with a preview show. I couldn't think then what I was going to say. With the preview show, let me quickly check if there isn't. Make sure there isn't anything that I've missed before we do shoot off. I don't think so. Watch there be an agreement now. Now that we're going off. Anyway, let me double check. Is there an agreement? I don't think so. But yeah, if anyone is just tuning in and seeing what I am be yabbing on about. Anyway, quickly going back onto it, of course, Romano saying that Liverpool and Feyenoord are now close to agree on compensation fee for Arne Slot as talks are progressing well. Of course, saying some details to be clarified, then the final green light is expected soon anyway. So again, as soon as it does get announced, as soon as we do know anything, of course, we will let you guys know anyway. But make sure you tune back in 9 o'clock for the West Ham preview anyway. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. See you guys later on. Ta-ra.